Chapter 3.
Hello, my name is Jason, and I will be talking about the many themes of One Piece. Now, One Piece is this grand adventure, and there's just so many themes that encompasses the series and really make it what it is. If you've ever seen a Pixar movie, those characters, they are designed and aimed towards younger audiences, but it's the themes within those movies that really cater to the older audiences. And that's really what One Piece is. It's a comic that is aimed towards young kids, essentially, but there's themes within the story that make the adults fall in love with it as well. And that's why One Piece is just this grand popular thing that has come out of Japan. If you've ever seen Dragon Ball, Naruto, or Bleach, yes, One Piece has action in this series as well. It's not just about themes, it's not just about character building. There is action, and with the powers in this series and everything, you're gonna see a lot of crazy things. So you're gonna see things you haven't seen in other series before, and it's something to really be excited about as well. What makes One Piece what it is the theme of family, really. I'll start there. Now, if you've ever seen the show Firefly, you have those moments where the whole crew is sitting around the kitchen table. They're just having a good time, and it really lets you see the bonding between the characters. So when an event happens on the ship or they go on an adventure, you care what happens to these characters. You're invested in them. And One Piece has that same thing going for it. It has that same quality, that same feeling, where these characters feel like a family. They feel real, and at times it doesn't feel scripted because all the characters are just so full and so well-rounded where how they act makes sense. It's like these characters really do come to life. Now, when I first started this series, I basically was reading it as a little series on the side. So I would come home from class at the time and read a few chapters, enjoy it, and then go about other activities. And then I got to a certain point where I was seeing all these things, and I just got really into it to the point where I wasn't just reading it for fun anymore, essentially. I was reading it because I was looking forward to it. I came home looking forward to what's out, when's the next volume coming out, because it just really drags you in. And there's just so much in the background as well that volumes are essentially worth a reread as well, because things will happen much later down the road where there's big payoff, and the creator really caters to the audience where he doesn't point out every little thing for people to see. He really lets the true fans find these things and see and put things together, and it's just a great fulfilling feeling in a sense, because when you piece something from chapters apart, you feel good about it too, because it's okay, and you're really getting into the story. That's another great aspect of One Piece. My name is Jason, and each episode I will be going over major themes. Everything I have mentioned just now is really only scratching the surface. So please, look forward to it.
Chapter 4.
One Piece shouldn't be lumped into the category of shonen manga. It doesn't do the series justice. I've read a lot of comics in my day, and One Piece is among the highest I hold esteem for. It might be the best ongoing comic out there. Don't let people fool you. The art is beautiful and inspired. Never have I seen such fun character designs and stunning landscapes in a comic, despite the simplicity of the style. The story, though it doesn't seem so at first, has been meticulously planned out since the very beginning, which is the cornerstone of a good story. If you have a dynamite story, then your comic will be a success, and One Piece proves it. How one man and several assistants can produce an entire chapter per week and have it be this good is next to godlike. And it's a hard task to have as many characters interact with each other the way One Piece does. You have the main 9 characters, whose personality, character development, or design don't overshadow each other, and the countless secondary characters, each with a distinct persona and the looks to match. The setting is a vast world with its own flora, fauna, geographical anomalies, political scruples, and bizarre happenings. Much like author Terry Pratchett, Eiichiro Oda has created a whole new world to be immersed in that operates like ours in many ways. One Piece is a wonderful example that proves imagination can take you to faraway places and new heights. Above all, it's One Piece's theme of family that is the most important. It's a theme that rubs off on its fans, making them, well, I won't say better, but definitely more conscious than most readers of manga out there. It's a theme that people can relate to and practice in their everyday life. It's a good message, and you can't say that for a lot of titles found in Weekly Jump. As One Piece continues to grow, so does its impact on Japan, as well as its readers. If you've never read One Piece before, any time is a good time to jump in. You'll be sucked in by the compelling characters, layered story, and the wacky hijinks that ensue. If this is indeed your first time reading One Piece, I am insanely jealous. To discover new things in this comic is a thrill, and I hope you'll have as much fun reading it as I have. My name is The Dude, and each week I'll be helping you through the nuances of each volume.
And now a testimonial for One Piece podcast contributor, Itchnob.
So I first heard of One Piece when, it was just starting. I was in high school, it was around, 1999, and I was playing this online game, which shall remain nameless. One of my friends in the game kept going on about how he was enjoying this new series called One Piece, and he really liked it since Dragon Ball just ended around that same time, and I was kind of interested. I couldn't really find anything, at that point you can't really find stuff to download or, stream, and I didn't even know what the hell a scanslation was. So fast forward to college in the early 2000s, I've been buying a lot of anime, but they were $30 each for, a 4-episode per disc, so that was tough. But I've been going to conventions, getting some good deals, and, while in college, it was a lot easier to share anime at that point. I didn't get to watch a lot as at that time being in school, it took up so much time, and I didn't really find anything new for a long time, really. My friends just kept going on about, Naruto, and I was watching that, but wasn't really into it as they were. And of course, at that point, the anime was at its good times for that one. I finally found out about, online manga reading at that point, and my cousin actually showed it to me, and he had a couple of the early volumes, some of the beginning stuff. So he kept going on about how really good it was. You're the second close person I know that knows about this. So at that point, I finally decided to give it a shot because, like most people, I've seen a couple of the artwork and stuff, and I was that doesn't really look like I'd like it. I don't know about something like that. And of course, how wrong I was. The earlier art style might put off a lot of people, but it gets so good. Anyways, back to the story. I got to read up through about the Arlong arc, and at that point, I got really hooked into the series. He had up to Alabasta. It turns out one of my other college friends happened to have the terrible Hong Kong subs, but she had all the way up to the end of Alabasta. So, I just wanted to see what the differences were with the anime versus the manga. So I started right at the beginning, and I have to tell you, I just fell in love with the music right away. Episode 1, We Are, love the music. Episode 9, around the Kuro arc, is right where I finally said, all right, I love this show. Mainly because that was when I found out that Usopp was voiced by Kappei Yamaguchi, and being the huge Ranma half fan that I am, I completely geeked out. So, middle of the decade, that's when I've been going to a couple of anime conventions, catching up with as much One Piece as possible, and I've seen people cosplay and all the other stuff the community does, for fandom and everything, and I was never really into that. Of course, cue One Piece, and that's when the addiction hits. I gotta cosplay something because I love the show, and I've never seen anyone cosplay One Piece before. Of course, I just wasn't looking. So, first cosplay, really bad Sanji. I didn't have a wig, I didn't dye my hair, it was just really bad, but I enjoyed it. And up to this point right now, I've been caught up with the current story, both in the anime and manga. It's tough to compare to other series because I judge every other series that I read and watch on One Piece. And, I've been doing a lot more cosplay. I feel like I've gotten better at it. Of course, if you follow the other podcasts that we do, you know about my collection addiction as well. So paying for cosplay and toys definitely puts a damper on other funds, but I'm still able to enjoy so many more things thanks to One Piece. Like the most important thing of all, I've been able to meet so many new amazing people, even have my own little, adventures, and pretty much, well, it's gonna sound so cheesy, find who I'd like to call a crew, of friends who I never would have met without being acquainted with this show at all. And One Piece just changed my life for the better by so much, from simple lifestyle changes, even, making deep bonds of friendship and memories, and just going out and doing so many exciting new things. And it's not every day you get to meet the lead voice actress for, your favorite show, and she's like, hey, I really like your costume, let me take a picture with you. And that happened, and that was just so amazing. So I say that if you're in doubt about the series, just give it a chance. I mean, it's #1 in Japan for a reason, and, who knows how it could affect your life.